Hello and welcome to my Facefilter tutorial. We're at the Digital Feminism Festival and it's a virus online version of the festival, which means that everything that was supposed to take place offline is now also online, including the workshop that I was supposed to do at the festival. So who am I? My name is Alla. Alla Popp is my artist name, and I'm a digital media and performance artist, and I made this hot mess face filter for the festival's Instagram account. Maybe you've seen that already. It's a burning egg that becomes a burning fire if you open your mouth. Festival asked me to make a tutorial on how to make Instagram filters. I myself have some experience with it. I'm not one of the profis, but I work since a long time with augmented reality, with virtual reality, with mixed reality, XR things, and I'm doing performance and digital media. Check my Instagram. It's Alla Popp, ALLAPOPP. Point. What are we doing here tonight? Tonight, you will see a screen recording of all the steps that you need to do to get to an outcome of a face filter. You're going to be hearing me talking like this in more like a podcast style, because I'm not really going to describe what's happening on the video, but I'm going to have a conversation with someone on Instagram face filters. This person is HAU is her Instagram name, and she's a digital artist and a graphic designer. She does amazing things. She's a friend of mine, and say hi. Hi, Chris.
Hi, Alla.
Hello.
So I'm far away and we're super strictly doing the quarantine, so we're on the phone now.
Yes, exactly. Thank you so much for joining me on this short call. I think it's going to be real fun. I want to say why I invited Christina for this conversation. We talked about the possibility that this conversation will make sense and that it is possible, because we had this kind of conversations on Instagram in the past quite a lot, and we know each other because we both have Russian artists in Christina comes from a place where my mom comes from, right?
Yeah.
But we met in Germany, and it's actually pretty not diverse what we're doing right now.
If you want to be exact, then Russia is quite big, and Alla was grown up not where I was grown up, and where I am from is super deep in the north, and it's just winter all time, and Alla is from a different republic. I mean, normally every state have a different religion, language, and it's completely different places. So we're kind of different growing up.
You are right. Thank you very much for correcting this. Actually, we are very diverse because I am a Tatar, and Tatars come from different places. And yeah, we are kind of very diverse Russians. But it's definitely a conversation coming from this mindset and this mentality a little bit. Okay, so where we're going to start? So I think the big question that we have is, everybody loves face filters. Everybody uses face filters, and I'm interested in why. I even wonder, why am I doing face filters? What is this so fascinating? Why are you doing face filters, Chris?
Yeah, I think it's kind of, I love face filters, and I think it's kind of like when I see my position in this communication with the audience. It's not just like my work that I hang or post or I don't know, present somewhere, and that's it. It's directly communication, because the people try it on themselves. It's like super private thing, I think.
So for you as a designer, it's this moment. Because like in the usage of the filter, I think there's this moment of who is producing it and who's using it, and there are different fields, right? So maybe, let's say now we're talking about from a perspective of someone who's doing face filters, right?
Yeah, maybe, we can do.
Okay, so you say that you like your art to be directly interacted with, so it's not like dying somewhere in the corner of a gallery or I don't know, some bookstore.
That's true, because like when I do my first face filter, and then I see how the people use it in a different way, or which emotions they are giving it to this face filter, or what they like. Normally they say something, maybe sometimes also not, but all of this mimic and reaction, and this is kind of fascinating, how many stuff they're doing with my filter. So it's kind of your work start to be alive, and it's used by, I don't know, thousands, millions of people.
Millions? What are your statistics?
It's not as bad.
Wow, okay, impressive. Okay, we're gonna keep this information. But yeah, okay, crazy. Nice. So, okay, so this is the moment that for you as a designer, it's really, it's living in the space. And this is something that's only possible in the digital space, right?
Yeah, of course. I mean, also like digital space. I mean, it's super important to do it international and to don't have this kind of country national borders, because I mean, as far as just somewhere local is like locally, that it's mean it just for some kind of people and for this audience, but it's not achieve all of the world. But in digital space, like it's just don't have stop. Philosophical thoughts.
Don't have stop. But like, okay, do you feel that you are extending yourself through the fact that that does it have a lot to do with you personally, or it's more like there's my filter, I put it out there, people are interacting with it, that's cool, I like it, I feel that things are happening, or like do you feel that it's also like you personally have a lot to do with this?
I think it's it had a lot with my thoughts about their humanity or their role we play. I mean, you know, like I think the humanity always have a different roles in a different. I don't know. I don't want to start now this, but for example, some filters that I did last time was always about fragility and softness. And emotions. It means like I want to do some filters that have something to do with this emotion that the people normally not show. One of my first was like with Jaime together, one of my friends, about this softness and this crying tears, and it's about like I think always like the idea to do or to show something to change the emotions to that. I mean, normally you don't want to show you somebody that you are crying, because it means normally in our society that like you are soft, and soft normally is not good. And what I want to do is like, that the softness is the new strong, because then you are, you can show this fragile or soft side from you. And that was the idea, for example, behind this filter.
Wow, yeah, I know this filter. I hope that we're having it on video right now. And yeah, I really like this filter too, because I think that this were also like, for me now, if you say like you are the producer, I'm the user, when I was saying, I was like, oh, okay, it's something I was thinking about this filter when I was sad. It's not that often that I post on Instagram things that when I'm sad, but when it was once happening, then I was like, okay, this would be exactly the right filter for me to use at that moment. And then it's also kind of cyborgian, right? It doesn't make you human. You're not a human anymore when you're using it. It's like a crying cyborg.
Yeah, that's true. I want to do it a little bit maybe icy tears. That was the idea, just to show something that normally in the society, like, I mean, not good taken by the people, or you are not allowed to show your softness and stuff.
So now we're looking at this filter. We see that it's obviously very beautiful. Maybe we have to now shortly talk about this aspect of Instagram filters, beauty. Which is I don't want to touch a lot upon this, because it's something that's been wildly in the media, especially in the past, in the autumn, I think, when there were those cases with the face surgery, face filters, which were prohibited because I think it was even one act of suicide link to the fact of the usage of the filter, and the person was not able to cope with own appearance. And then, yeah, it came to that tragic event. Yeah, I just maybe let's shortly touch upon this, because I think it's good maybe that we take example, your filter as an example. Is it okay? Or should we? Yeah? Okay. Like most of the filters you see are those that make your lips bigger. You get sprinkle, or what's called freckles. You get freckles. You I don't know. You just have the smooth skin, and you just generally look nicer. So how did we get there?
I think it's not about maybe about the filters by themselves. I think it's more the mirror of society. I mean, like for me, the Instagram filters is more a little bit kind of the media you can play with. But I think that thing that you talk about, it's completely about our society, that there are people always afford to look better, to look like this, and this is the perfect way. And you know, like what I mean, it's not, I think it's about the pressure that we have in the culture, that there is these standards, and you need to be this kind of beauty standard to be accepted. Because I think I mean, of course, in Instagram, it was the most famous filters, all of these beauty surgery, blah, 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 classical things. And I think like it's kind of can also underline the way how we use Instagram. It's about the quick result, and you want to show you from the best side. You want to show this beauty, this classical beauty. And it's how like Instagram also work, and you want to do it super quick and do beautifully and looks better. And I don't know, and yeah, I think that just like it's just underlined how the Instagram works, that it's super quick and it's super how can I say it, not deep enough. Yeah.
I just read today a post of one artist. I think it was Saulia, and she. I mean, Instagram been banning lots of things that I've been posting, and I guess you also had this problem, and many other artists. And she just posted today or yesterday something like, Instagram, nobody likes you anymore anyway, and everybody's just waiting for something else to replace you.
Okay.
I liked it a lot in the connection. This was my association to what you were just saying, because I thought, if we know that it's so bad, right? It's just like all about it, kind of self-representation. It's egocentric. Yeah, like those beauty filters is so dominating, and even we use those. Like you use this I use this aesthetic that is nice, right? In your filters, and I use kind of those things that make your skins get like look smooth and also kind of alieny. I don't know. Why are we participating in this? Why are we doing this? I just wonder.
I mean, in general, I think that face filters is actually a super nice thing, because then you can kind of play a role, or you can try this role that you maybe before. Of course, the bad thing about makeup, maybe to look better and blah, blah, blah things. But also some people who'd never tried before makeup will do that, because it's a filter and you don't need to go to the beauty shop to buy all of this stuff. Maybe you were scary to try that, and this take from you this scariness. It's just there. It's just on your phone, and phone is super trustful and private thing that you have. And I think it gives you the possibility to try something new. Also, there is some artists or people, moderators, who are just always using their mask or the filter that you cannot recognize the face. And I think it's kind of also super good idea, because like in Europe, it's easy to be yourself, and it's more easier to express what you are and say your opinion. But I think not every country have this privilege to say things that you think in really. And this is kind of super good possibility to express something that maybe before you were scared or you want to hide your face, because sometimes it's also not important how you look like. I mean, of course, we're all fascinated to the face and to the all of mimics, but sometimes maybe it's super good statement as a moderator to use a mask, because it's not about how you looks like, it's about the things that you're talking about. And it doesn't matter if you have the monkey face or like, I don't know, like crocodile plush toy, it doesn't matter, but the things that you are talking is super important. And I think this we cannot forget about when we talk about the Instagram filters.
Yeah, I guess judging on Instagram is like judging on internet. Kind of like, oh, there's so many good things and so many bad things. I'm just having this quote in front of my eyes. Actually, I know it's a quote, but I don't have an actual quote who said that. So maybe, but it's an Instagram user. So you can start to get jealous of yourself because you want to be the retouched girl. I really like this, the retouched girl. I guess I'm too old for this because I don't know what it is. Like, oh, I can imagine what it is, but I think it's more like belongs to a teenager now, kind of a little younger people than myself. Yeah, the retouched girl. I really like it. Kind of this retouched girl.
I mean, I have nothing about the surgeries or retouching or something. I think it's all things are okay as far as the person really decided by themselves, and not like you have this pressure from outside. You need to have this. Another way you would not be accepted. And this is the thing that I don't like in all of this. I mean, I don't want to charge or to say it's bad to do something, or I don't know. I think it's everything in our world is as far okay, but this pressure that the society gives you, how you need to look like, how you need to behave, how it's better for you to, I don't know, to be more famous or something. This is kind of the things that's not okay. And when you do it to do like to achieve something, just to change your visuality, just to achieve something because you think like somebody more would like you and not before. This, I think, the biggest problem actually.
Yeah.
Can grab as deep.
Yes, super deep. So maybe we leave it at that with this beauty filters. And now, do you have an example of your favorite 5 or 3? I don't know how many you like the best ones, like also diverse ones, or do you have some examples and you maybe could talk about it a little bit? Like, why do you like this or that filter?
I can say, like, for example, that in opposite to the beauty filters, what we were talking before, I really appreciate when I saw a lot of filters going against this, like they're doing more your face differently that you actually don't want to look like. And this is kind of amazing, I think. Also because it's kind of like against the statement. And I also like the filters which hide the face. For example, actually, that it's like, yeah, just the eyes or just the mouth. It's always like you play with this. Yeah, my new filter now that I want to like I need about for improvement. I wait since like 5 months, I think.
Oh shit!
And we do it with a cooperation with one of musicians, and I do it also with my friend, and it was super complicated. It was the most complicated filter that I did before, with some different changes of your face. Yeah, maybe I don't know how long now we need to wait to see that, but it's kind of also about this beauty and changing where is this border between one and between another thing. And yeah, but it's about like 5 months now in improvement, because it have some change face changes, so I think it's automatically landed by the all of these not allowed filters with the face changing, so we need to wait a little bit more, but I already wrote all of people I can match.
So 5 months ago was November. So it was exactly this time when this whole thing was going with the beauty and with those third place surgeries. So you really got into that on a bad time.
Yeah.
But hey, 5 months. Okay, I must say, like, I did this virus oracle filter now, and it's still not approved. It was approved for 5 hours at one day last week. And then now, like 3 hours ago, I got another a rejection. And like, really, I mean, we really need to talk about it. What are things that are getting actually rejected? Because like in my filter, point was at the moment before the whole pandemic was announced, the people were already going crazy and doing crazy shopping and like literally stealing all toilet paper from the groceries. I did this face filter that was telling you like what kind of deadly filter is after you right now, and it was giving examples of all different viruses that are been there or out there, including Corona, COVID-19 thing. But like, you know, the idea was to make people aware that there's also many other things that they should kind of switch the focus. And Instagram did not approve it first because it was word deadly. Okay. Then there were many different moments that sometimes I was changing things, but they would not give me a reason for it. I think, rejected so far like 8 times. Nice. And one which I liked a lot, at some point I deleted this word, which is after you right now, like kind of following thing. It was like, which virus is you or something? Or like I changed the question, and then the Instagram answered me with one time, for the one moment they gave me a reason. It's after they pulled it down offline. No? They wrote me, they told me, we do not allow to diagnose the user. So they thought that my filter can be perceived as an analysis. And after that, I've been changing many things. The last version I uploaded was called which virus is your best friend, just to see if this is going to work. And it still did not. I was rejected again. But on the other hand, there's so many of those Corona filters going around, like a filter that is called Corona. And did you see that one?
Yeah.
When you open the mouth, the viruses are coming out of your mouth. In my case, it was that when you open the mouth, the viruses are coming into your mouth. So that was the difference. But generally, I do not see any logic behind that.
Yeah. Also, before we talk about these forbidden things and stuff about these surgery face filters, I mean, of course, I don't really think that. I don't know if I would now banned from Instagram and Facebook, but I think they don't really care about the user people. But what I think that their problem is more like their company becomes this kind of bad taste of because like everybody who will use it always will talk, but the most people, what they're doing on Instagram, they use these filters and blah blah blah. So company becomes more criticizing from outside, and I think it's just the way why they do that. And that's with like I don't know, we're also like we're grown up both. Here we can come to our background, I think, without computers and without using a lot of digital technique. But now you like kind of, I don't know, now I cannot even imagine without that. And of course there is 1,000 of filters that also say, I don't know, like which character from Harry Potter are you, or like which dog are you, or like you can also like, I don't know, like what would next in your future.
Filters are big in Russia, right? They're bigger than they are in Germany. Or we were talking about this, that the Germany is actually very at the end of the filter popularity and usage.
I don't know, like what I can say from my experience. Sometimes I'm doing their workshops for the media exchange classes and lectures between the different countries. Mostly it's the goose countries. I don't know how to say it in English, but I mean, normally it's like kind of Ukraine, Belarus, Russia, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, and all Middle East countries and Poland and stuff. And I have the feeling like as far as you move to the West, the people is not as common to using all of these digital devices and stuff as back to the East. Like I don't know, like sometimes like I'm super like sometimes I need to give some lectures, and the people are super different educated into this thing that a lot of them can show me better how to do filters than I, and some people are completely from the beginning. And I have the feeling like in some countries, as I said also before, there is the possibility to express you maybe better because it's maybe one way. I mean, of course, there is now more and more things happening that you are not allowed to do all things, but internet and Instagram and the face filters, like you can express something. I mean, exactly that I say before with a hidden face, for example. What you do?
Yeah, I think that I was just in my thoughts listening to you, changing your appearance into something else. Yeah, I think this is really fascinating.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think the question that I want to, maybe this will be like 1, 2, 3, maybe 3 last things that I want us to talk about, but we should do it shortly because the time is running. Wait, was it 3? Okay, so the first was, what is it's a very big, hard one. What is the political potential of the face masks? I mean, we kind of, like, I want to say, like, we kind of seen the incredible amount of toilet paper face filters coming on Instagram since the toilet paper crisis. And I think in a way I really like this because they are. I mean, it's a really kind of ambiguous way to express concern, and it is political, but of course it's actually it's more funny than political. But yeah, I believe I believe that there is a huge potential, but I have trouble formulating it. What exactly is this potential? I just think, like, I would really want to know what you think about this, because my opinion is I just think it's important to sit down and reflect and then create filters, as, for example, you were doing with this, reflecting on emotions, but not on your beauty. Right? Or like, what is that you want to say? What is your problem, basically? And that we need more of the filters maybe that are kind of speculating on problems than just creating butterflies around your head.
I think, that's kind of a thing. I think that you can say in general then about the masks, like it's a tool. And of course, like, there is the people who just experimenting as quick as they do that without deep thinking. But I think it's also super big space opened with these face filters when, as you say, that if you deeply think about that and what exactly you want to criticize or what exactly you want to say, it's super nice, like, to do it in a critical way, I think. And it's like, I don't know, that it have no how can I say it, borders to express yourself. For example, like, I think one time I sent you this filter about their, like, it's more this Eastern thing, like East Europe thing. There you can put the button and then they say your nationality.
Yeah. I remember.
I was thinking a lot about this filter, and one thing I was like, I'm completely against all of this. I mean, my position. I'm just like, I think it's already dead. All of this geographical, how can I say, like, as a person, I don't want to define me geographically. So for me, it doesn't matter where, like, but what I was thinking about first, like, it's shit. why the people since do that and blah blah blah. But another case, I was thinking like it's super cool actually for maybe for Eastern countries, because like there is also a lot national discriminating inside of the countries, and maybe it's super fun that to try it on, because like of course there is these very filters just randomly give you something, and it means like that show you the nationality you're completely not, like what we are talking about, like you are and I'm Komi and stuff, but like maybe it's break these suggestions in your head. But I don't know if you can see that or not, but I was trying to think about this face filter in a different, maybe you later cut it. But I don't know, I was thinking about this a lot.
About why should I cut it? I actually really like it.
Okay.
I like this part.
Yeah, because I mean, like I know that that in Russia especially there is a lot of different thinking about how the people from their parts of Russia behave and stuff, but yeah, like this.
So totally. And I mean, this is a good example actually of, I mean, I wonder if the person, the creator of this, actually, I probably should list it up when I'm going to show examples of these filters and also put the names of creators. I don't know who the person is. Do you know?
No, I need to see, I think. I forgot, sorry. It's like, that is actually the point that maybe I need to say, like, if you use the filters,
check the creators.
Check the creators, because like sometimes I'm super wondering, like, I mean, it's even, I mean, of course, if it's do like Coca-Cola company, I don't know if you want to support them, but support the creators who doing the filters, because it's super nice. Like if you see your work and the people using that in other, doesn't matter in which way, but it's like, yeah, it makes your heart warmer. And I think it's this now the time to say that. No, but I don't know the name of creator, but it's a good point for you and for me, because we use both this filter. Yeah, that would be fun to see who was doing that.
Yeah, so I think that it's actually, I was just, why I asked this, I wonder if the creator of the filter meant it politically critical, you know, like if it meant it to be like this, that, or it's more like, hey, I'm a Tatar, oh, I got a Tatar, more it's that it's more like a lottery, and that you as a different kind of creator see the in that angle. And then my next question, or like next thought, is, well, maybe we could try now to formulate together what will be a recipe, if that's even possible, how like a recipe of making a nice, like cool, politically critical face filter.
I think it's maybe a super good idea to grab in yourself first, because I think like for me it's difficult, for example, to say something for people I don't know why they use it, for what they use it, or what agree, what disagree. How we said before about this filter with the flags of the nationalities in the Eastern countries, but. For example, I think it's super, like all of my filters that I do, of course, they have a lot to do with that I'm thinking why the people are shy to cry, for example. And I think like if you have some kind of angry thoughts in you, like you're not agree with something, I think it's super good way maybe to express them.
And maybe also, with every step you do, think about who are all those people that you could offend with what you're doing. With like, this is what I think about like a lot when, like, not when I start, but yeah, in the process of trying to kind of get out of oneself and, you know, think about others, which is not easy often, because it's just like you need to get out of yourself.
Yeah, that's true. But another way, like for example, you all like I hope you sometimes talk with friends. Like I know we talk about that already. That the problems you have, like not you in this, but I mean all people. And then, like for example, also we're talking about that which similar problems we have, and I think that kind of this is a good point because before I do this filter, I know that our reflections to each other or these ideas to this thema and yeah, you know what I mean?
No, not exactly. But I think I think you already made a really good point before. Like, I could cut my point. Because, like, just starting with yourself, I mean, depending who you are, but yeah, starting with things that matter for you and.
Or what you are not agree with something, for example.
What is the problem? I think we just can't make up this recipe. But maybe it's good that we don't. It doesn't matter. I mean, we don't have to make this recipe, but we put up. Let's say we are putting out the question: what is the recipe? If there, like, what could be the points that make, like, what will be the thing that makes the filter a good filter?
Yeah. I mean, you say before the recipe, of course, you never can like do the perfect way, and if you do all the steps, it's the best one and stuff. Of course, there is complete bullshit, but I think sometimes when it's super quick and you want to produce something in super short time, and it just tips to help if you have this point that you don't know how to start, maybe concentrate more on one feeling or one thing, like it's always maybe in artwork, so I don't know like that what exactly the idea, because if a lot of stuff happening around and there is so much layers, it's super difficult, but you need to be the clear message.
Clear message, that's good. If you can formulate the message, yeah. Okay, so that's. I think this is the clear message. Is maybe a good ending. Thank you so much. It was so much fun, and yeah, I like our conversations. And now, I hope people would also not be bored too much.
I hope that that it would be the easy Einstieg. Like, yeah, that it would be maybe easy to start, and don't be shy, just try out everything. It's okay to do the mistakes, and that's the way how we learn all of the things.
And also, please send us love messages or hate messages or anything
I want to see the filters.
Yes, send us your filters and comments on anything we said here. Feedback is always good. Like, not feedback, but like the what do you call it in German? There is this word.
Rückmeldung.
Rückmeldung. Yeah, like no, you know what we mean. Thank you very much. Thanks, Chris. Пока.
Thanks so much, Alla.
Пока.
Пока.